Recently, President Joe Biden suggested that the Middle East has long harbored an ancient hatred for Jews, that the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is fueled by historical animosity towards the Jewish people. This assertion is a dangerous myth that distorts the region's history and ignores the long-standing coexistence between Muslims and Jews. Contrary to Biden's claims, for centuries, Jews found sanctuary and flourished in Muslim-ruled lands, while fellow Jews in Europe, animated by a deep reservoir of anti-Semitism, faced persecution. Since the emergence of Islam in the 7th century, Jewish communities enjoyed a new political environment where they not only survived, but also thrived. The Prophet, peace be upon him, himself presided over the first political charter in Islam, known as the Constitution of Medina, in which Jews, Muslims, and other communities were united. This union of Muslims, Jews, and pagans was the first Islamic Ummah. And throughout history, various Muslim rulers, including the Ottomans, encouraged Jews fleeing Christian persecution to return to Jerusalem and other parts of the empire. The Golden Age of Islam in Moorish Spain, as it's often called, is another testament to the long history of Muslims, Jews, and Christians coexisting and thriving together under Muslim rule. In fact, a good faith reading of history can only lead to the conclusion that if it wasn't for the care and duty shown by Muslims to Jews, there would be no continuous Jewish community in Palestine to speak of, a continuous Jewish presence which Zionists stress to make their exclusive claim on Palestine, while ignoring the historical truth about how such continuous Jewish presence was preserved and maintained in the first place. So Biden is wrong. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is not an ancient religious feud fueled by ancient hatred for Jews. It is an entirely modern political phenomenon rooted in European colonialism. The source of the growing tension between Jews and Arabs and the wider Muslim world is the predictable consequence of the installation of a foreign colonial power in the heart of the Middle East. A power, let's be honest, that has sought to erase Palestine off the map and forcibly displace its indigenous population. The resistance to this colonial enterprise did not stem from an ancient hatred for Jews, as Biden claims, but from a desire to oppose the subjugation and dispossession of the Palestinian people. Prior to the rise of Zionism, the concept of an Arab Jew or a Palestinian Jew was not considered a contradiction in terms, as Jewish communities had thrived in the Arab world for centuries. It was only after the advent of Zionism and the creation of Israel that tensions arose in regions like Iraq, where prior to the Nakba, Jews lived in peace for 2 millennia. President Biden's remarks perpetuate a dangerous myth that distorts the historical reality of Muslim-Jewish relations in the Middle East. His erasure of the long history of coexistence and mutual respect between these two communities has one aim and one aim only, and that is to justify Israel's ongoing genocide in Gaza.